Hi everybody, I am back with my friend, Emmy Award-winning TV host and cancer survivor and author of Your Healthy is Healthy, Samantha Harris. Samantha,
hey.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's so fun to hear author. That's like a new moniker.
It's a big deal.
My mom, who sent me to journalism school, is probably
like, finally, it paid off.
I mean, I was a TV host as a journalist in entertainment news, but there's something different about pen to paper journalism.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very proud of yourself. It's an amazing book.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I want to dig deep, okay? Because these are the questions like I want to know as your girlfriend.
Okay,
because I see you and you know, kind of have the whole package. You are a hustler, you know, mom, wife, you're really busy. You do a lot of different things. So going back to your health and nutrition, I really want you to kind of break down for me your typical day. Like when you wake up in the morning, are you meditating? What supplements are you taking? When are you getting your exercise in? What are you eating? How are you sleeping?
Come
on, Samantha. Give it to us all.
Absolutely. How long do we have? No.
It's fine. It's fine. I need to know. And I know everyone really wants. These are the questions I think people really, really want to know.
Well, I think first of all, exercise for me is a calendar item. I put it in my day like an appointment in my calendar.
Okay.
So when I look at my week on a Sunday night, I say, okay, well, what's my shoot schedule? What interviews do I have? Where am I going to be volunteering at school for my kids? Right, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Business dinners for my husband. Like, what does it look like?
Okay.
And then where can I slot in that workout? So some days it might mean that I drop the kids off at school, which first of all, we get to walk to school. So that is a life changer.
Yeah.
You know, I get to have that moment of just being outdoors in fresh air with the kids, which I really like.
Nature, yes.
And we all get a little bit of a start to the day being physical. But also being in LA, avoiding traffic is a life changer. It gives me back so much time.
Yes.
So I feel very grateful. I have 2 more years to be able to enjoy that before we're off to middle school, and it's going to just all break loose. Yeah. So for me, oftentimes I will come back home and then take the dog for a long walk or a jog, or I'll go to the gym. I love classes because I like being able to take different classes. So whether it's yoga or a high intensity interval training class or kickboxing.
So you mix it up.
Mixing it up every week looks completely different. Or well, it might look same week to week, but day to day of that week, it's different.
Okay.
I think it's important to keep your body guessing, challenge different muscles.
Yes.
I think fitting in yoga is really important for anyone who doesn't think it's a workout. It is.
They're opening up a yoga studio very close to my house, and I think I'm going to give it a go again.
You know what? I think for so many,
I can already tell I need to for my joints and for my
Well, you know, when I started taking yoga, how many years ago? It was only because 2 reasons. I'll admit. I kind of coveted Madonna's chaturanga arms. Chaturanga is when you lower yourself down right from push-up position. So I kind of coveted that. And then because I'm on the go like this all the time, I'm sort of, I needed it. It was almost a forced meditation for me. Then as I shifted post-cancer into my healthiest healthy, it transitioned to making me realize not only is it slowing me down and allowing me to breathe, but it is allowing my body, because I want to have longevity.
Yes.
Working out isn't just about looking good in a dress.
Absolutely.
Which it was in my 20s.
Same here. Not anymore.
Embarrassingly admit. It's like totally embarrassing to say that.
No, it's not. I think we all felt that way.
I think so. But post kids, and especially post cancer, and having lost my dad at 50 to colon cancer, even though he and I had no hereditary link to my cancer, that's what kind of put me on the put it on my radar to get a mammogram early and things like that. I started to realize it's not about what my body looks like as much as what my body can do. And all of the years of weight training really tensed up my muscles so much, I lost my flexibility. And as you age, flexibility is really important.
Yes.
Right? So, because we fall so much, and the more flexible you are, the better you're able to kind of catch yourself. So that's sort of where my workouts kind of fit in.
Do you meditate?
So we talked about in the earlier segment about the journey of healthy, and how we are continually evolving in that journey. That is my biggest sticking point, is that I've had a really hard time finding a regular meditative practice. So what I've decided to do in the meantime, while I'm still working towards that, and something I talk about in the book too, because a lot of us think, how do I have a half hour to sit down on a mat?
We started that this year. We really, my husband and I.
Good for you.
And it's made a big, big difference.
Has it?
Yeah, it really has. For him mostly, because he deals with a lot of stress, and he's big change in his life.
Well, and I mean, they say, all the studies talk about meditation, how important it is for longevity and overall health. Stress reduction is a big part of that, especially in a powered up world, being on technology all the time, right? To step away from that.
Yes.
But it's all about small steps.
Yes.
So a small step towards meditation that somebody can take, which is where I'm at, is taking 2 minutes out of your day for meditation.
Exactly.
Now that might look like literally just sitting in your car when you pull into your parking spot and turning off, the car and just sitting there and closing your eyes and listening to your breath. It might mean taking a walk outside, getting fresh air, and focusing in on the sounds, listening to the birds, feel the warmth of the sun on your face, feel the breeze on your body. And just focusing on that is also meditation. I think there's lots of different things. So that's another important part.
You'll get there. I know you, of course. And then you're going to master it. Like, okay, Samantha, now what?
I'll be giving master classes in meditation eventually.
Exactly.
And breathing. And well, even meditative moments right before you walk into an important business meeting, or for me, an interview or a shoot. Just
centering yourself, grounding yourself. I think what you're doing in the morning, walking the kids to school, just being out there, getting that vitamin D first thing in the morning, regulating your circadian rhythm, and then being in nature and connecting to the earth in that kind of way. That, for me, being outside that's a huge thing for
and we're lucky to live in California where we can do that all year round. I mean, I grew up in Minnesota. A lot of winters where I was running from my house to my car and freeze my tush off. So
yes, that's right.
But breathing is something also we've started to work with the kids when they're feeling nervous about something, when they can't fall asleep. Just learning to tap into their breath. So that's
good.
Thing, right?
That's good.
Really, I think it's really helpful. Something my dad actually taught me a long time ago before he passed. And
I like that.
So, and then in terms of you asked about food.
Food supplements.
Okay, so for food, the biggest change for me has been twofold. One, moving away from animal protein and towards a more plant-based whole foods diet.
Yes.
And flipping my plate. So, again, grew up in Minnesota, land of cows and dairy.
Yes.
Ate a lot of cow, tongue to practically tail.
Okay, I feel you.
Just saying, a lot of meat. Liver, I mean, oh God.
I love liver.
I used to douse it in ketchup just to get it down.
Gizzards. All that good stuff. I know. Keep going.
So, really unhealthy.
Yeah.
So for me, making the transition of the idea where half the plate is a slab of meat, whether it's poultry or fish or red meat. And the other part is a small portion of some veggie, a small portion of grain, and maybe some little healthy fat or maybe butter, maybe not healthy fat, maybe a big slab of butter or margarine, even worse. Butter is not the worst thing that it used to be, but you want to make sure it's grass-fed. So you're making those positive choices in your changes, right? But flipping my plate so that now at least half my plate at every meal is filled with veggies. So for me, that means a morning smoothie with kale and spinach and chia seeds and flax seeds and, oh my gosh, bee pollen and matcha. I call it the kitchen sink smoothie.
Right.
I throw everything I don't want to have on its own later that I know is good for me.
You throw it in there.
But I didn't start there. I didn't start with that intense smoothie. It started where I was having cereal every morning with protein powder. Then I transitioned to Greek yogurt, then organic Greek yogurt, then organic Greek yogurt without the blueberry flavoring because that was a lot of sugar.
Of course. No, you can't do that.
Right? So just slow steps that kind of, and then smoothie with whey protein, then to plant-based protein. So again, just taking steps away from the dairy, the cow.
Yes. Of course. It's okay.
Cows. And the cows are so huge.
It's okay.
We can pet the cows.
That's right. Okay. So that's what you're doing.
So that's my morning. And I make, it's like a 50-ounce smoothie. It's huge. It doesn't need to be that big. I've actually been thinking recently that I should probably cut it down because it takes me through the whole morning and sometimes through midday to finish, which is great because then I don't have cravings and I have energy. But then I end up eating lunch, which is a huge chopped salad with beans in it, usually lentils and some garbanzos. I put some fresh avocado and tomatoes. But I chop the rest of the salad, except for the avocado and tomato, on Sunday nights or Monday mornings.
So it's already prepped.
Big thing, and just eat from it throughout the day, throughout the week. Yep. Throw some paper towel in there.
So
absorb the extra moisture, and then just keeps changing out the paper towel through the week. It will last you. If you make it on Monday, it'll last you till Friday.
Oh, see, that's a great tip.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
That's a really great tip.
Because I have it in my car right now because when I leave here, I have to go, I'm on the run the rest of the day. And packing a healthful lunch will keep you from, there's the shop on the corner with the muffins and the things, right?
You just grab it. Right. You just have that ready to go. And then dinner, the whole family eats together.
So dinner we have together. It's harder, of course, with the kids. Yeah. And that is my biggest challenge now is leaning more plant-based whole foods with them. Because I feel like every time I spend like 3 hours in the kitchen, I put it down, they go, this is gross. I don't want
Well, I'm glad
this.
my kids are not the only ones doing that. I'm glad yours,
So
they
frustrating.
see you eating so
Right?
healthy.
Well, then you're
all
like,
the time.
God, why did I spend so much time trying to make this then?
Exactly.
So, but now they have the Impossible Burgers,
Yeah.
which, well, of course, it's always like one kid then will like something,
Yeah,
and the other one
doesn't. Yes.
But one likes it, and so that gives us a burger feel,
Yes.
like being meatless. I love black bean burgers. I have a recipe for black bean burgers. And
I saw that. I'm going to make it. I saw it. I was like, okay,
the
great.
sweet potato, honestly, is
good
the key, is the
recipe.
key.
I'm
It's
sure.
super duper great. But also pasta. I used to think that a pasta would have to I would always do whole wheat pasta, but with chicken and then maybe a bunch of vegetables. So if I want to avoid the animal meat, then I can have lentil pasta or black bean pasta and get the same effect. Have my protein right there.
Right.
And so it's great. So
Yes.
lots of.
And that's how I do with my kids. That's the pastas I get.
Do you?
Yes.
And I think it's a great, and they have the spaghetti, they have all the different shapes. And then I'm a huge dessert fanatic. And sweet tooth is, I think, been.
Tell me what you found.
Well, I have found that dark chocolate.
Yes.
And now it has to be cacao. Which
Yes.
Is, so here's a really interesting difference. Okay. So
Yes.
I knew it has to be at least 70% or higher cacao,
Okay.
right? So CACAO, cacao, versus COCOA, which is cocoa. Do you know the difference?
No. And we consume a lot of dark chocolate at our house.
Okay,
Between my husband and I.
but it says cacao, or if it says
Well, now I
72%.
don't know. Now
Well,
I
if
need
it
to pay
says
attention.
72% dark chocolate, then it usually
We're
is
always
considered
above
cacao.
70. We're always above
so
70.
then it's there. I think for the most part, then it means it's cacao. But I was putting what I thought was cacao powder into my daughter's smoothie to try to like a peanut butter or chocolate banana smoothie in the morning, and then I realized it says cocoa, not cacao. So the difference
So she
is
isn't getting the benefits.
because cacao,
The
so they're both the
antioxidant.
same bean,
Yeah.
but cacao is not heated, whereas cocoa is heated and it ruins
Processed.
it's processed, it ruins all of the nutritional benefits.
Yes. I just went to a cacao museum
What?
in Colombia.
Excuse
so
me.
I probably should have paid attention a little
Oh.
more, but I do know the basics.
So that's I was fascinated.
See, but that's a great thing to know, and that's a great thing for people to look for.
because you can get powdered cacao as well.
Yes.
So now I have powdered cacao for her,
Right.
and cacao nibs for on top of like smoothie bowls, which
Yes.
is a nice
Yeah.
option. One thing I like to give them is what I call breakfast ice cream. So
Hey, that sounds good. I think I want that. What is that?
well, if you take bananas,
Yes.
or bananas and strawberries, and you barely add any water and you blend, it's going to be really thick, and it almost has an ice cream-like or sorbet consistency. So if you can trick him and start to add a little bit of green in there, and get some
yes.
spinach, and then top it with some cacao, even
that's
better.
fun.
Chia seeds are a great thing to throw in, and
Right.
then you can pretty much hide them
Yeah.
then in there because they don't tend to
Yeah.
know as long as they don't see the chia going in.
Then they're like, what's that? I don't want it.
Right.
Okay, that is so great. What about self-care? Like, what are you doing for self-care?
Oh gosh, I mean, self-care. So, because I know we've talked about this stuff. As moms, we're at
hard.
the bottom of the totem
course.
pole, right? We put ourselves last because we're always taking care of everybody else. So sometimes self-care feels selfish,
Or you feel guilty.
or you feel guilty.
Yeah, got to let that go.
But if you don't take those moments for self-care, you're not going to be here long enough to take care of those who need you to take care
That's
of
a great
them.
way to put it.
So think of it as doing a service for those around you. I mean, I know if I don't get my workout in, I am not quite as patient.
Right. Yes.
But if I can get that workout, even if it's 30 minutes, I'm so much more focused, not just for my kids, but for my job, for every aspect, that
course.
wonderful domino
Of
effect.
course.
So for me, self-care means working out, number one. And if I can get a massage in or foam rolling, I do a lot of yoga balls or foam
Yes,
rolling at
yes.
night before I go to bed. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, work out the kinks.
Yes, yes.
Those are my 3 favorite things for self-care.
That's great. Are you doing Epsom salt baths and
I don't do that, although I like those. If I'm
Yes.
really sore, I would like that. But because of the cancer, because of having my lymph nodes removed, and there's a lifetime risk of something called lymphedema, which is a permanent swelling of the arm. So I, as it is, sometimes get a very heavy, achy arm when the swelling is just beginning. I don't have lymphedema, knock wood. I'm trying to avoid it. One thing they think could potentially trigger it, because they don't really know what causes it, can be extreme changes in temperature. So some of my favorite things, which are jacuzzis and saunas and steams, I cannot do anymore, because if you go in and come out, it's a shock to the system.
what about cold?
Same thing. I couldn't do a cold plunge either.
Wow.
any extreme. So
because it's so funny because
I'll go like halfway in and keep my upper body
they're just
out.
saying about the cold, and especially the cold hitting your face and your body. It like
it's so good for those who don't have to worry about.
And it's really, really good. Oh wow! See, didn't know that.
But I would. My mom was. I said, "Did you take a hot bath?" Because she's a real hot bath person.
Right.
Like, Mom, remember I can't take a hot. Oh, right, you can't take a hot bath. But sometimes I will do a lower half jacuzzi. Actually, so and then supplements, for supplements, I do well because of the plant-based whole foods diet for the most part. I do take a B12 supplement because you can't get that from plants. And then sometimes I'm on and off about calcium, but I usually do take some vitamin D. And then I also do a probiotic and something called Omega XL, which is an omega-3 supplement that is really
so
beneficial.
Important.
Yes. So
great. Yeah. Well, your supplements are less than sounds like I have like a cabinet full.
I've been there, but I was taking handfuls and I thought, I can't do this every single morning.
And do you do your supplements based on your blood work that you did? Like, do you do a panel?
Yes. So every 3 or 4 months.
Because I feel like that whole world of supplementation is just, it's like sort of like the wild west, because you see things and you're like, yes, that sounds great. I need that.
Right.
But really you don't know what you need until you get that panel done.
Yes. And I know, look, it's not practical for people to always go to a doctor and get blood work done. I feel lucky that my internist is actually an integrative specialist. So every 3 or 4 months when I see him, he does a workup. And thankfully, I feel very fortunate to have good insurance that really covers a lot of it.
Yes.
And I know that's not always the case for people. So, I think one thing, my biggest advice for nutrition is going organic with your produce. And oftentimes I will hear pushback by people saying, well, it's just too expensive. However, thankfully, we have a lot of great outlets now. I mean, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to Costco. I really like it. I could get lost in there for hours. But they have, Costco, Walmart, even Target have sell organic frozen fruit now. And so, we have I think it's a 5-pound bag or something of frozen berries that go into my smoothie every day. And it's much more cost effective than going to the market and buying organic. And
also just for people to know, at first I was feeling guilty about buying frozen organic vegetables or frozen organic broccoli.
Right.
But those foods are frozen at a time where they're so nutrient rich.
Yes.
Like if you buy broccoli organic and it's in your refrigerator, you might not get to it for 4 or 5 days where, it's depleted of some of those nutrients. So it's fine to buy them.
Right. If they're flash frozen, then it's at the peak of nutritional value. Yeah. And then also, they have, the chia seeds and the flax seeds and all those in really big bags. But one thing I love, a great resource is the Environmental Working Group.
EWG.
So, EWG.org.
Dirty Dozen.
They have the list. So if you have to focus on what are you going to spend your money on, look at the Dirty Dozen. It's their list of the top 12 most pesticide-heavy fruits and vegetables. Yes. And then they have the Clean 15, which are going to, of course, be like your asparagus and other veggies that are the least pesticide-heavy. Right. And that way you know where to spend your dollars.
Exactly. So. Well, Samantha, seriously. Such great information. And all of it is pretty much in the book. Like all we've touched on, and more, and more, so much more. Because I could seriously sit here and talk to you forever.
Thank you.
But since we can't,
well, thank you for giving so much time to it.
Yes, and since you guys just grab the book, check it out. Really, it will be your go-to and your roadmap to just a healthier life. I didn't think you could have been healthier than you were whenever I met you. But look, there's room for all of us to grow.
There is.
I love the title. I like that you said your healthiest healthy instead of my healthiest healthy, because it's like you kind of gave ownership to all of us.
Right, which is what it is.
So the book, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, everywhere at your local bookstores. Check it out. You'll see Samantha's beautiful face on the cover. And thank you again. And if you don't see her on that book, you're going to see her all over television, as always, in our homes. So thank you. And best of luck on this journey with this book.
Thank you, Holly.
You're welcome.